didn't I do it for you? Didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you, Kermie, Ken, Wormmon?
Oh my god, that is shockingly relevant
Yeah.
to this episode.
Hello, everybody. That was Miss Piggy doing Cellophane by FKA Twigs, but also with a Digimon twist.
Okay.
I'm Michael.
I'm Michael.
You're not Michael. This is hilarious that we're leaving all of this in.
Oh, okay, good. I can't wait to edit through all of it.
Well, you don't have to. That's the point. Anyway.
Okay. Welcome back to Two Gays and a Digimon podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Michael.
Glad we resolved that issue. Today we'll be covering episodes 19 through 21
of Digimon
Adventure 02. And it's some sad things happen.
Oh, it's boy.
Yeah, you'll never emotionally recover from this.
No, emotionally or financially.
Yeah. Should we start right away, or should we So we're at the point where the kids are in the digital world and they're not leaving until they defeat the Digimon Emperor.
Yeah, it's finally actually showtime.
Yeah, and they found his base. Turns out that Yoli and Davis were right. It was a mobile base.
Yeah. It was like a floating rock.
Yeah.
With a control spire smushed into the back of it.
Yoli and had her her ketamine binge. She was the cocaine bear last episode.
Do you want to do your cocaine bear impersonation?
Hey, I'm the cocaine bear.
The cocaine bear.
Hire me to do voice acting work.
The cocaine bear, fresh off his role in Goodfellas.
Yeah. So we had that episode. It was not the best, but now we're in it.
We're in the thick of it, and these are 3 good episodes.
Into the thick of it.
I mean, I'm mad about them, but they're good episodes.
So episode 19 in English is called "An Old Enemy Returns," and in Japanese it is called "The Synthetic Demon Beast Chimeramon."
And we start this episode with one of my favorite Digimon Adventure 02 traditions. Completely roasting Davis.
Yeah. I don't really remember. Oh, yeah, Davis is snoring really loudly.
Snoring. Well, he's snoring, and I think it's TK and Izzy have left without him.
No, because remember, Izzy, Ty, and Matt are on the camping trip in the real world.
Okay.
So it's TK and Cody.
Yes, Cody. It's TK and Cody, and they're like, "Do you think Davis will be mad?" And
Well,
he's like, "Oh well, the girls can deal with it." And then the girls leave without Davis too.
Well, no,
because he smokes.
There's the whole thing of Vmon, I think it's Gatomon. It's does this happen all the time? Davis snoring, and he's like, yeah. So,
where are TK and Cody? Are they investigating the base?
They're going to find the base.
Okay.
And then the girls leave, and Davis is left alone. Cut to the real world where June is also left alone.
Bitch, that's June.
Mm-hmm. And the bus that June tries to catch is labeled Toei, which is the
animator, yeah.
The animator of her Digimon adventure. So that's kind of funny.
She still is like, "Oh, they must have left me behind by accident, so I'm going to go camping with the boys."
I think
because she wants to make out with Matt.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want to make out with Matt?
Me, he's 11.
He's not 11.
He's 15.
Yeah, but also I wanted to make out with Matt when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's fair. He plays guitar. How could you not?
I mean, come on.
I do not play guitar. I play drums.
Okay.
And I do a great Miss Piggy vocal impersonation, as you all heard.
All right, June is unstoppable. She literally, this whole episode is just her trying to get... I think it's actually this whole string of 3 episodes is her trying to get to the campsite, and she is not giving up.
She's not a Digi-destined, but she might be a Maddie-destined.
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
So then TK and Cody find the base.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a Rhode Island reference.
Yeah,
as someone who went to school in Rhode Island, that made me very proud of our little state.
Yeah, so Marimon says something about this is Texas trying to fit Rhode Island into French Texas into Rhode Island or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's so big it makes Texas look like Rhode Island.
Yes, which is funny, but also why?
Yeah.
But that's okay. So they discover that, well, the base is heading towards this mysterious whirlpool.
Yeah, like in the middle of the ocean. It's,
Yeah.
it's almost like more of a black hole than a whirlpool.
Yeah, it's like the worst vibes are coming from this whirlpool.
Like everyone is kind of quaking in their boots a little bit.
And Wormmon is urging Ken to not go near this whirlpool. But Ken, of course, is not listening to Wormmon.
Yeah, in fact, he kicks Wormmon, which made me want to kill Ken again.
Yeah.
Also, like, not to jump ahead too much, do we actually find out why the whirlpool has, like, bad vibes? Like, the bad vibes in the whirlpool are all of, like, Ken's stuff. Like, nothing, it's not like they encounter, like, a bigger... Oh, I think we do.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. Never mind, I'm sorry.
I wrote here in my notes, Tentomon has jokes, which just is the norm.
Yeah.
I think that what you said before really stands true, that they probably loved giving Tentomon all these funny lines because they didn't have to match up with anything because his mouth doesn't move when he talks.
Yeah, so they get more freedom.
Yeah. So TK and Pegasusmon feel very weird about the whirlpool.
Yeah.
They keep talking about the negative vibes as well, but with a much healthier dynamic than Wormmon.
Yeah, although it's still weird because their angle is like, Pegasusmon's like, do you feel weird about it? And TK's like, I don't know. I feel strange about maybe feeling weird about it. And I'm like, then yes. Then you... His answer isn't like, yes, I feel weird about it. His answer is like, I don't know if I feel weird about it. Which that means you feel weird about it. Anyway, I don't know. He's a kid.
So Cody and Armadillomon break into the base.
Mm-hmm. And it's very Star Wars. It like literally looks like where Darth Maul and Qui-Gon fit.
It's very like Death Star.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like three different... You know Star Wars, where they have like a big tower in the middle.
Cody is doing a jailbreak. And I wrote, Atticamon.
Yeah.
Atticamon. Attica.
What is that?
It's like a famous prison riot.
Oh. Yeah, Cody says, well, they're like, maybe if we take out this like power engine, it's like the engine room or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, maybe if we take out the engine, the base will shut down. And Cody's like, no, it's more important to save the people in the jail first. Which, like, true.
Yeah, Cody is a queen for the people. So then we cut back to the real world, and June, she just won't quit.
No.
She is a woman on a mission.
Bitch, that's June.
Bitch, that's June.
Are you going to still use that clip?
Bitch, that's June.
Oh, I use that clip in every time June appears.
Good.
Someone really needs to listen to our podcast.
People do.
No, I mean you. You're that someone. Are you that someone by...
Yeah, I was...
Who's that by?
Aaliyah.
Yeah.
It's also, are you that somebody? I know. I was asking if you were going to still do it this episode. I know you've been doing it all the episodes up to now.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to do it every time June appears until we're done with this series.
Good. I love that.
And then maybe in series in future, if she reappears.
Yes.
I don't think she reappears.
We also get something kind of weird when we cut back to the real world, where we get an itchy butthole joke. Because they're like, have you gotten Karen?
So, June hitches a ride with her and Davis's grandparents, and they make a statement about how they used to go camping all the time until the grandfather mistook poison ivy for toilet paper, which is such a, like, parent joke.
Yeah, it's also, like, again, itchy butthole joke. Weird.
Yeah. His last name is pronounced Itchy Joji.
That was good. That was very good.
Are we sure? Is that problematic?
Why would it be?
I don't know.
It just rhymes, sort of.
Yeah.
It has the same start.
Back in the digital world, Yoli and Kari have left Davis.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, will Davis be mad at us? Like, and then Yoli's like, don't worry, he's a pretty good sport. And then... Which
is not true.
Davis is like... Why is everybody leaving me behind?
And then something completely bizarre that never gets explained happens.
Yeah, I think that you rely really heavily on explanations for stuff where I'm like, this is a show for kids. I'm having a good time.
Okay, but this one was normally I'm like that. Like, I have the suspension of disbelief.
Literally, because I listen to our podcast, literally every time something like slightly unusual happens or like something that's very fantastical, you're like, I don't understand it. Like when there was a jungle on a sub-layer beneath a jungle in an episode.
I guess when something's like a pre-established rule, I'm fine with that. Here's what happens. Davis leans on a tree. The tree cranks like a lever, and then the piece of land he's standing on just splits from the mainland and starts flying across the ocean like a speedboat. And I'm like, when have we ever had anything like that happen.
Well, they needed to get Davis into the action.
Yeah, and I guess Vemon can't fly.
Vemon can't fly or swim, so...
Yeah. It was just weird. I wish he just, like, found a boat instead of it being this weird island thing, but...
I think it's weird that, like, Jedi was clearly very...
Oh, yeah, where the hell's
involved.
Jedi?
I have a note. I have a note in here later on. I think it's not for this episode. No, it is for this episode, but I'll bring it up now. Like, where is Leomon?
Well, I thought Leomon died.
Yeah, but he would have gotten reincarnated, right?
Yeah, that's true. Where's Leomon?
Where's Ogremon?
Where's Jedi?
Where's
who's like
Jedi?
God? Where's Apoclymon?
Well, Apoclymon is dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the Dark Masters are gone.
Okay.
But like, where is Jedi? Jedi was like an instrumental figure in helping the children in the first season.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to me that we do see some old friends from the first adventure, like Andromon and Waymon.
But no, like the plot-breaking ones. Because if
like,
Leomon was there, it'd be fixed.
Waymon died in the first adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And they saved him. Yeah. So, Ken launches his Mechanorimon that are his slaves into the Dark Whirlpool. Mm-hmm. And things get spooky.
Yeah.
There are some ghosties.
Which, if you listen to, like, the voice acting of the ghosts, it's very camp.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, very clear, like, people who I don't think are voice actors are just going, like, oh!
Well,
it's so funny.
Digimon is, like, really early on in, like, dubbing of
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I totally get why.
So it's telling people who are, like... It literally could be anybody.
It's like the PAs or something.
It's also like, it's bold to assume there were PAs. It's probably like, because there's also like an infamous point in like the first Digimon adventure where there's just like an episode where there's like a child's voice in the dub, just like randomly. It's like inconsequential to what's happening. It's not a actor.
And it's not a line.
And it's like not really a line. Excuse me. I have a bad cough, so if I will be trying to edit around that, but
yeah, there may be times where it just
so I'm okay otherwise though. Please don't worry about me. It's just, a small virus.
As a treat.
It's from the digital world. But yeah, so the ghosts are very spooky. And they're messing up Mechanorimon. Mm-hmm. And I think Ken goes down there inside of one of the Mechanorimon. Because Mechanorimon are like a Digimon, but they're also like a mech, like, to be piloted.
Does he? Does he get out of the base?
Does he?
I don't think so. I think he says, why are they...
I think he's like maybe gotten it. Maybe he was going to get inside one or something like that.
Yeah. We also cut back to Cody freeing the Digimon. And at this point I realized that some of those Digimon definitely could have fit through those jail bars. They could have just walked through.
Yeah.
But not all of them. So, good job, Cody.
So...
he's going to get in the Mechanorimon and then someone shows up.
We see the reason why this whirlpool had the most rancid vibes is inside the whirlpool is like the essence, maybe the data of Devimon from the first Digimon adventure.
Finally, a hot single villain in my area.
I don't know. Ken's been here the whole time. Yoli certainly thinks he's a hot single villain in her area.
Ken is not single. He is married to Wormmon.
That's a toxic relationship.
Yes, it is.
But anyway, that's weird. So, yep, I have all capitals. Devimon is in the whirlpool. And I was excited to see Devimon because finally we see a Digimon that is, even though he's not really like there because he's been clearly defeated and like the bad Digimon don't really come back. Mm-hmm. He like, Ken is like, so Ken wants Devimon, part of Devimon's data for his experiment that we'll later see. But Devimon warns Ken to beware of the darkness. Mm-hmm. And Ken is like, I'm the Digimon Emperor. Like, no darkness can scare me off. But Devimon has Ken shook. Like, there's some, like, he's like, he's danced with the devil. Mm-hmm. So then TK gives Cody a quick, like, recap of the fight between Angemon versus Devimon, which was clearly for any viewers who like didn't watch the first adventure to kind of know what's going on.
Yeah. He keeps saying Angimon instead of
Angimon, yeah.
Which I don't. Oof, I do not like.
But
that.
I guess it's because it's the change of voice actor from like
yeah,
the woman to the man.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a shot of the base rotating and some sweet CGI, some sweet early 2000s CGI.
Yeah. Oh, TK also kind of has like an almost like an anime speech moment. He like takes off his hat and he puts his bag on the ground. So, he means business. You know how like sometimes in an anime, like the villain will get hit in the shoulder and there'll be like a big explosion or whatever, and it'll be like, "We beat him," and then the smoke clears and he's like, "Ha ha ha! You thought you could defeat me?" That's kind of the vibe TK's giving in this moment. It's pretty cool.
I think it's more of like the shonen anime protagonist speech because TK should be the main protagonist of the season, in my opinion. But,
yeah, in my opinion as well.
But we cut back to the real world where we learn that June snores.
Bitch, that's June.
Which is the third snoring joke of the episode. So maybe.
Well, because June and Davis are not that different.
That's true.
That's like maybe the point. I think that like Davis will learn to have a better relationship with his sister. So Ken finally reveals his magnum opus.
Mm-hmm.
Chimeramon.
Bruh, he ugly.
Yeah. Chimeramon is like assembled from a bunch of data that he has collected. So he has Monochromon's tail, Garurumon's legs,
yeah,
Greymon's body,
arms from
Coagamon, Skull Greymon, and Devimon. Airdramon and Angemon's wings, and Kabutarimon's head, and he topped him off with Metal Greymon's hair.
Yeah.
So he's ugly.
He's really ugly.
But he's scary.
Yeah,
he's very powerful.
He's scary, but it's kind of funny that he just kind of goes, that's his sound the whole time. It's kind of fun.
They also make a reference to a VCR, which I just found kind of funny.
Timely.
Yeah. Cody is a man of the people. He continues to free the other Digimon while TK goes to confront Ken, where TK does not give a single fuck.
No, Ken's like threatening him and TK laughs, which I described as so pussy complimentary.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to put an E for explicit rating on this episode.
Oh my god. Well, we already did a cocaine reference. So.
Yeah. So...
Stan Cocaine, by the way.
Yeah. TK punches Ken in the face.
Yeah, and calls him Ichijuji, or Ichijoji, one or the other, I forget which one he says, and a pretender. He doesn't call him Ken, he calls him by his last name. He calls him a pretender. And then I said, oh, Ken's mad. Did he get his fewies hurt?
TK grabs Ken's whip. Which I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, he knocks him on the ground and then goes, sorry if the floor's dirty. And I was like, bitch.
Oh, he starts off with like, you need to learn there's a time to talk and a time to fight. And now there is a time to talk. But it's also a time to fight, and he punches Ken in the face, and it's so satisfying.
It's so good.
And then they're fighting, they're tussling, and then Wormmon walks in to find TK on top of Ken. Insert Jennifer Coolidge White Lotus meme.
Oh my god.
So TK goes to help. TK Wormmon would prefer a staring contest against Patamon.
Patamon's like, want to square up, and Wormmon's like, I'd much prefer a steering contest. And they just go, and stare at each other. Meanwhile, everyone else is fighting Chimeramon, which is the point at which we realize that Nefertitimon's attack is basically, here's some Swedish for you.
We've made this joke before.
Okay.
Simon is like, Tempest Wing, and then Nefertimon might as well just be like, Spanish language!
Yeah.
Like,
Donde está la biblioteca?
Her attack is called Rosetta Stone, which is like a cool name for, like, it's a cool like thing to say, and I think I don't remember when the Rosetta Stone was discovered.
A long time ago, I think.
Let's Google that.
I'm Googling it. No, I do not want iOS 16.1.
Because it's like, I don't know, like, it's just a cool thing to shout out, I guess. Like,
I'm getting like the website. I want like the Rosetta Stone, $17.99.
Maybe it's because when did the software come out?
The software came out in 1992.
So it might be referencing the software Rosetta Stone that like
yeah,
teaches
but she does
you...
like hurl like a rock at them. with
Yeah,
scripture.
because that's like what it... Can you look up Nefertimon?
Sure.
Because the attack name might be different.
Well, also the Rosetta Stone was found in Egypt, and Nefertiti.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like her attack name might be something entirely different in Japanese. That makes more sense.
Sure, I can look it up.
But not us doing our research live on the podcast.
Stop. Where does it list her attack? Attack. Rosetta Stone. It doesn't say what it means. Okay, so let me click through that and see. No, it takes me to the Wikipedia for Rosetta Stone. It doesn't say what in Japanese.
Okay, well, we'll look it up later. So...
Oh, is this parentheses what the Japanese translation is?
Yeah.
So the Rosetta Stone one doesn't have one. It's just still called Rosetta Stone then. Because there's no other name listed.
Okay. So, TK leaves to go help fight Chimeramon, threatens to pummel Ken again, which in parentheses I said lewd. Yeah, so Pegasusmon then... do you have any more notes?
On this episode?
Yeah.
No, except that I realized that Chimeramon is spelled wrong and that bothered me.
Yeah, and like it's
spelled like Kim Era. Like Kardashians.
Yeah. Which like it's probably just because like the CH sound might not really translate the same. I don't know. But so I have two more notes. So Patamon armored Digivolves to help in the fight, and Pegasusmon saves Halsamon, and Halsamon's like, "Thank you, Pegasusmon," and Pegasusmon is, "It was just a little horseplay," and I lost my mind.
Yeah, it was very funny. Your reaction was funnier than the joke.
Yeah. And then we have one more shot in the real world where June finally makes it to the camp.
Bitch, that's June.
But they gave her the wrong camp, which is not camp. That's mean.
No.
They're really mean to June in this part.
They are.
Okay, so episode 20 is called The Darkness Before Dawn.
Ooh.
Or Transcendent Evolution, Gold Magnamon.
Ooh.
Damn. The English title is like the first of 12 episodes with a similar title in English.
Mm-hmm.
So they love the phrase "darkness before the dawn," which is very Florence and the Machine of them to me. So they start off. They've left the base. They rescued all the guys,
and they flee for now because Chimeramon was too strong.
Yeah. So
that's when there was a big fight with Davis about, right?
Yeah, Davis wanted to keep fighting, and then they were like, "We have to retreat. Like this is just too much."
Yeah.
So they are. Chimeramon is absolutely wrecking this town of Digimon.
He's being a straight up terrorist.
Yeah, a second Chimeramon has hit the town.
Talk about the Great Chicago Fire of October 8th to October 10th, 1871. Am I right, ladies?
We made two different kinds of jokes.
We did.
Good for us.
We're broadening our appeal.
Yeah.
Casting a wide net.
Yeah. Our net's so wide.
So wide. Almost as wide as the internet. Digimon. Yeah. Digimon.
They all lament Ken's destruction. But then, like, Yoli tells Cody to bite his tongue when he says something. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, usually bite your tongue is like, oh, you shouldn't say that about, like, a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But Ken's an asshole, so... Go off, Cody. Tentamon is hilarious.
Yeah, but also kind of defeatist.
So, and then Cody sees that there's like a pipeline, and then he has an idea because now we're starting to get like, oh, Cody has got the knowledge, and so we cut to the real world where Ty, Matt, and Izzy discuss Chimeramon, and they get an email from Cody, and Cody is like, "There's a pipeline. I think you know what I'll need to do. What you need to do with this information."
Mm-hmm.
And Izzy finds out that the pipeline is connected to the oil rig from a few episodes back.
Yeah.
I just wrote the oil rig to weapon pipeline. So they have come up with a plan to use this oil pipeline against Ken's base, so they can at least get inside of it. We cut back to Ken in his base.
Yeah. He's kind of tripping.
He is being haunted by Devimon's words. Like he's having a bad time. Which is good.
Yeah.
But Wormmon is getting big worried.
Yeah. He still has Chimeramon in his pocket too.
Yeah, he's still he's very much like, oh, Chimeramon's my true partner, not like some weakling like you, Wormmon.
Which, one thing that Ken forgot to tell us, where he got from Chimeramon? What? His heart.
So anyway, we then cut outside of the base where we see that Agumon and Gabumon have arrived to help Tentomon with this plan.
Gabumon's hitting the sushi bar.
Yeah. And they open up the gas pipeline to release the fumes, and then Agumon and Gabumon light it on fire.
Yeah, it was pretty smart actually. And then it creates like a geyser of flame.
Yeah, so the base gets lit on fire.
Yeah, as it's floating over.
Yeah, which is pretty epic, honestly. So the Digidestined enter the base.
Which is not Poggers.
Well, it's Poggers for us, but not for Ken.
No.
So they break into the base.
Back again.
And a pretty funny Star Wars reference by Davis is just shot down by Kari.
What does he say again?
He's like, they're like, oh, this place is huge, and like, oh my god, this is so... And then they're commenting on how the base looks and everything, and then Davis is like, yeah, and then the hotshot pilot gets to rescue Princess Kari, and she's like, this is science fiction, Davis, not complete fantasy. And I was like, God, leave Davis alone, Kari. You're so mean. But also, it was pretty funny, on both accounts.
I'm done.
Okay.
This is when they get in the fight about whether they should leave or not. Right?
No. So then,
Oops.
on the the security footage or whatever, Wormmon points out that they have some visitors, and then he says, should I make an hors d'oeuvres plate? And then I was like, I want Wormmon to make me an hors d'oeuvres plate.
Yeah. No, I want to make Wormmon an hors d'oeuvres plate. He's gone through enough.
That's true. Wormmon and I can make it together. As a team. So then they fight with Chimeramon in the base. And it's not going well. I just kind of noticed something here, especially because there was an angle where they showed Nefertimon at. She just has human breasts.
She does?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, she's got the armor plating on her chest area, and on it is just human breasts.
Not a fan of that at all.
And I kind of get it as she's a sphinx, kind of. But I'm it's still weird, and it was really pronounced in the one way where they showed her straight on, and it's just little boobies there. So they're fighting Chimeramon, and it is not going well. They're getting their butts kicked, and they finally. Did we get the? No, not yet. So they de-evolve into their in training and baby forms and base forms and stuff. And Ken recognizes those little Digimon from the soccer game. And
freaks out a little bit.
It kind of takes him back a minute. And then Wormmon says that they're in training forms. They have the same kind of strength as they're just like human babies.
And Ken freaks out.
And Ken is like, human babies? And then he calls off the attack by
Chimeramon. He kind of freezes.
This is when they have the discussion of whether or not they should leave the base.
Yes. Right. Okay. Sorry for jumping ahead a little bit.
But before. Davis won't give up.
No, Davis does a very not well thought out, very stupid plan. He just jumps down through a hole in the floor. He's like, we're not leaving, and I'm gonna make you stay. So he, like, jumps down onto, like, a ledge.
No, he is gonna stay, and he's like, well, you guys can leave.
Right, okay. But he jumps down and, like, misses the ledge and, like, is now dangling off a ledge, like, by his fingers.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. So, Chimeramon won't listen to Ken anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, just kind of goes off and is destroying the base.
Mm-hmm.
And Devimon continues to haunt Ken. We hear Devimon's voice be, like... I think we have, like, a zoom in on Ken's face and we hear, like, the... of Devimon.
Mm-hmm.
Wormmon just steals himself and prepares to save Ken by helping Davis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because Wormmon, like Davis makes it to, like, the engine room.
Yeah.
And Wormmon is like, and then Davis is like, out of my way. And then Wormmon's like, the engine room was over here.
One thing that I have in this is Davis calls out Wormmon. He's like, you're Ken's friend. Which I wrote as, Davis says, I know what you are.
I know what you are. You're Ken's friend.
Yeah. A friend of Dorothy. I mean, a friend of Ken.
So Wormmon kind of pleads to Davis to, like, get him to help him save Ken.
Yeah.
And Davis is like, yeah, sure, I'll help you. And then they go into the engine room, and it is this golden radiance appears, just like
Wizardmon said.
So, the golden radiance causes Vemon to digivolve, Demi-Vemon to digivolve back to Vemon. It, like, revitalizes Wormmon and everything, and then a strange pink symbol appears.
Mm-hmm.
Save that for later.
Yes.
And then Vemon golden armor digivolves to Magnamon,
who
with a really good animation. Like, the
really good animation.
Yeah,
they put the whole budget into this one.
It's from the movie. So.
Oh, that's why.
So, and that is the end of the episode. So the next episode, episode 21, is called The Crest of Kindness, or Goodbye Ken-chan in Japanese.
Yeah, we're on to this is a big episode.
So, Magnamon, thoughts?
Sexy. Powerful.
He's cool, yeah. We will see Magnamon again, not in this series, obviously, but also in later ones, too.
Yeah.
But not the same Magnamon.
I completely forgot the context, but my first note for this episode is boogie boards? Okay, then.
Oh,
Which, out of context, is so
Davis
funny.
says that he could use Magnamon's shoulder pads as boogie
Oh,
boards.
yeah,
like,
which is
huge.
like, what the hell are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Why are 8 seconds of this episode dedicated to that?
My first note in this episode is Spider Wormmon. Because Wormmon, like, swings away from the battle with this, this silk thread or whatever.
Peter Parker, eat your heart out.
Yeah, Peter Parker could never.
No, he really couldn't.
You think Peter Parker could make an hors d'oeuvres tray? I don't think.
No. No, he's notoriously a terrible cook.
Yeah.
You think Tom Holland knows how to cook?
That honestly feels like it's real. I don't know if that's, like, real.
Well, because he's always, like, a dorky... Well, I don't know, because Spider-Man's always kind of had to fend for himself a little bit. Because his, like, parents aren't there, and then, like...
No, he has Aunt May.
Yeah, he does. I don't know, Tom Holland just seems like... I don't know.
Tom Holland Spider-Man definitely can't cook.
Yeah,
so.
He's too, like...
He's not Zendaya, though, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're engaged now.
They are, which happy for them.
Whatever, I don't care. Anyway, back to Digimon. Ken still is refusing to listen to Wormmon and see that Chimeramon is evil and does not want to listen to him.
Yeah. The kids these days, they have no respect.
Yeah. All I have, my next note is, get him, Cody.
Yeah.
They
all show up and they all start roasting him one by one.
Yeah, they're all confronting Ken about how, like, the Digimon are living and, like, breathing and, like, have thoughts and feelings, which, like, apparently never occurred to Ken, which I was like, okay, like, Wormmon has literally been like, we're buddies. Like,
yeah.
Ken is so annoying in these episodes, and Wormmon is so good.
Yeah, Wormmon.
So, they all armor Digivolve to escape and continue to fight Chimeramon.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a funny bit where Armadillomon is like, Armadillomon, armor Digivolve to Digimon, the drill of knowledge. Normally I say power, but knowledge makes it sound smarter.
Yeah.
So Armadillomon is so funny.
Yeah. My
So-
king.
They have successfully destroyed the base.
They have.
Yeah. But Magnamon is still fighting Chimeramon, and it's not going well.
Yeah. Also, like, the kids tell Ken, like, the Digimon aren't just code, they're, like, alive. And Ken's, like, doesn't really say no, but doesn't really, like, acknowledge it.
Yeah,
It's weird.
He kind of, like, hasn't... I guess he's kind of thought this whole time that the digital world only existed on his computer, which is, like, wild of him to have thought this whole time, because, like, how would they get in here then? Like,
Yeah, there's so many. Well, we'll talk about that more when he has his full break.
So, Wormmon has some words for Ken
Mm-hmm.
about how, like, if you can't see what, like, if you won't stop, then I'll stop you, basically.
Yeah, it's like,
And-
I know the real Ken, and this
And
isn't him.
He tackles Ken to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
and-
Knocks him off. He's perched on what
Devimon.
Devimon, ready to, like, take off and continue chasing the Digimon.
Yeah.
The Digidestined.
There's some unnecessary jokes here where I was like, no, this is, like, we don't need this.
Yeah, there's something about a melon. Randomly.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have it in my notes. It says, why a melon?
And then Wormmon finally gets to drive.
Yeah, he finally gets to drive.
And Wormmon,
Goes up to Magnamon,
he flies up to Magnamon.
who's struggling against Chimeramon.
And he sacrifices the rest of his power and energy to save Ken and to stop Chimeramon.
Yeah. And he falls to the floor.
And he's like,
Falls to the ground, because they're outside.
he's like, you can do it, Magnamon. Save Ken for me.
Yeah. Does Wormmon get, like, hit or something before that? Because he's already, like, weakened, and then he's like, take the rest. Yeah, Chimeramon, like, hits him or something.
He, like, smacks him out of the way, which, like,
Yeah.
because Chimeramon's, like, so powerful.
Yeah.
So,
And then Magnamon gets the extra power from Wormmon.
yeah, and he's able to defeat Chimeramon with, I think his attack is, like, called, like, golden something in
Yeah.
English, but in Japanese it's called Extreme Jihad, which is my fun fact about Magnamon.
That's wild.
That's wild. So the Digidestined are trying to, like, explain, like, Ken is like,
Ken is like,
everyone's
like,
cheated, how could you
Well-
beat me? Like, I'm just gonna rewrite the whole program, and, like, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like,
he says, I'll start a new server and start from the beginning, and I'll make it so that you guys can't cheat. And they're like, bro, what? Because
They're
now
like-
Ken is, like, sniveling on the ground.
they're like, shut up. Like,
Yeah. And also, they have, like, a moment of celebrating beating Chimeramon.
yeah, because it was a big victory.
Yeah.
And then Kari finds Wormmon. Oh, Ken is, like, screaming, and as he's screaming, he's, like, he, like, takes off his, like, cloak, and it disappears. Like, takes off the gloves, and it disappears, and he's, like, screaming.
Yeah, and he reverts back to his, like,
And
real world
Yeah,
form.
he, like, is in his, like, regular clothes, and his fierce America's Next Top Model bob.
And he calls himself a failure, to which I said, yeah, you are a failure, Ken, you dweeb.
Oh my god. So, Ken clearly needs to work some stuff out.
Yeah. And then
But
the big explanation,
He eventually gets what they're saying.
which can we, like, not recap and let's, like, talk about this for a minute? Like,
Yeah.
so I guess I'll quickly still recap. Basically, they say again to Ken that the Digimon are alive and that he was hurting living creatures and that the digital world doesn't just exist in his computer. And then he's like, oh, what? And then he has this moment of, that's right. I saw your Digimon out in the real world at the soccer game. How would that be possible if this was all in my computer? I have so many problems with this. One, we just, like, 5 minutes ago saw him realize that they were out in the real world, so how come it's, like, it's a realization for a second time and it didn't dawn on him then?
Well,
Also, like, he's like, oh, it exists outside my computer. How does he think, like, he obviously didn't make the digital world himself, so how would it be only on his computer if he thinks he made it, but he would know if he made it or not.
I don't think he thinks he made it. I think that he thinks that he was the only one who had access to it, and because he's like he's such a genius that like obviously he could like rewrite the program and reboot the digital world.
Yeah.
Which like they're like reboot the digital world. Shut up. I'm like, you guys literally reboot the digital world and Digimon Adventure Try, so you shut up.
But
I'm from the future.
But the other thing that I don't get, that I think is, and not just like, oh, it's a kid's show, but I think is like bad writing. Mm-hmm. And I think this season generally has good writing, but I think this is bad writing. And that's a problem, because this is the whole arc. It's the whole
I think this season has decent writing. I think it's like attempting to be more comedic, is that's not good.
Yeah. But once Ken finds out the Digimon are real, he's like, oh my god, how could I have done that? I would never do that to real creatures. I'm a horrible person. I'm worthless. Like he goes completely in the opposite direction of like, I'm literally the worst person that ever exists. Which I don't buy, because I feel like if you were that sympathetic to living creatures and you were like, I would never want to hurt anything living, you wouldn't like have this weird sadistic fantasy and enjoyment out of hurting fake digital creatures. Like if I go and play Nintendo, I love animals in the real world. Like I love dogs, I love cats. I don't have this weird, like, I'm going to go play Nintendogs and torture all the dogs because that's what I find fun. Because, like, in order to enjoy it in the digital world, I feel like you have to, in some ways, have that sadism in the real world. And it doesn't make sense to me at all for him to be like...
need to keep watching. Because I think that, like, yes, I think it's the, like, suddenness of this realization that is the issue, not, like, the... excuse me, not the like actual revelation itself that is so shocking. Like
to Ken, okay.
No, I mean like to us as the audience, like it's the sudden heel turn. But also like I don't think Ken realized that they were real like life forms when Wormmon compared them to human babies before. I think that like he was still like he has still been processing that, because it hasn't been like that long.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and we get like, so Kari finds Wormmon in the sand, and they're all like the Digidestined are all like, oh poor Wormmon, and then Ken's like, Wormmon?
He's okay. He's still alive.
Well, he's still alive for now, and then Ken gets a crest, which he's the only new character that got his own crest.
Yeah.
And
Kari, also, sorry, one of them refers to him as another Digidestined. Kari's like, you're a Digidestined just like us.
You're a Digidestined just like us, because he's got a Digivice and a Digimon partner.
Yeah.
So, his crest is the crest of kindness, which he, much like the audience, is like, why has Ken got this? He's been anything but kind.
Yeah.
But, you know, he needed kindness the most, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
he and Wormmon has a quick moment with him. Not long.
Him and Wormmon have a little moment, and then Wormmon says like, oh well, I'll always like be your friend, or like I'll always be kind to you.
They call each other their best friends.
Yeah, and then Wormmon dies, which is very sad.
I was so mad. Yeah. When I tell you I was like mad. I didn't think that needed to happen, but it happened. And I think narratively it actually is not a good thing that it happened, but I think it narratively is compelling that it happened.
Because we're clearly not done with Ken, because we also have gotten... Ken says, like, why can't I make anyone stay around? Like, first my brother, and then it shows a picture of his brother, like, falling or something.
I think his brother getting hit by a car is the implication.
Okay, I didn't know that you knew that, because it is what happened. His brother got hit by a car.
Oh, yeah, the implication is that, because I think there's, like, a tire screech, and then you see him, like, lying on the floor in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Wormmon, so everyone Ken loves is dying.
Yeah, which, like, I feel like they should have hinted at that at some point. And maybe they did, but I don't remember it. I think they should.
Ken's parents said before, first we lost his brother, and now we've lost Ken.
Oh, they do say that. Okay, then yeah. Then good. Because otherwise I felt it was like tacked on.
Wormmon dies, and then that's kind of the end of things here.
Well, Ken, like, walks away sobbing, and
Yeah.
they're like, no, you have to stay and help rebuild, whatever. And he, like, doesn't listen. He's just, like, sobbing. He returns to the real world.
Yeah. But, so we return to the real world as well with June finally makes it to the campground.
Yeah.
Bitch, that's June.
And
The boys.
are like, what do we do? What do we do? Because, like, they don't know that the kids are coming back yet. And then, they all have come back to the real world, and Davis tells off his sister because he's a dick. And they all pack up to go home, and of course, Matt tries to leave behind June again, and Matt and TK's dad is like, no, you're taking the bus with this young lady.
Yeah. Matt's like, stop being a dick.
And then Ty and Izzy talk about how
Davis is mean to her again.
Davis is mean to June again, yeah.
No way, June, take the bus!
No.
Actually, that was a pretty good
Yeah,
Davis,
you did a
wasn't
good
it?
job.
Thank you.
And then Ty and Izzy talk about how, like, we can, like, feel reassured that these new Digidestined are capable. And I was like, you mean you haven't thought they were capable until now?
I know. The other thing is, like, it cuts to, like, Matt and June are gonna have to take the bus home, and Matt's like, oh no. And then it cuts to, like, all of them in the van being driven by Matt's dad.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, openly having a discussion about the digital
I
world.
really-
and I'm like,
I really
imagine. Okay, but I'm also like, imagine Kari's like, well, thank God for blah, 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 blah. And, like, in the digital world, and we stopped blah, blah, blah from happening. And I just imagine Matt's dad being, like, turning around and being like, what?
Oh, I think that he had to be in on the plan.
Yeah, also, does Matt's dad even know who all these kids are? Like, does Matt's dad have any reason to know who the hell, like, Yoli is?
Well, Yoli is friends with TK, who's his son.
Oh, yeah, I guess TK is their age. I was thinking just like Matt. But
Yeah, TK...
I kind of forgot Matt's dad was also TK's dad.
I know.
Well, because
it's kinda
TK
weird.
lives with his mom.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
And then our final shot is of Ken's parents, and they're, like, crying, and they're so happy because we see that Ken has returned home, and he's laying in his room, and we see that he has his Digivice in his hand.
He's, like, catatonic, though.
Yeah. And that's where it leaves off.
Yeah.
So,
Pour one out for Wormmon.
I know.
My favorite new character of the season. And he's dead.
No, maybe he's not dead.
I hope not.
I don't know. We'll have to keep watching to find next time on Two Gays and a Digimon podcast.
We hope you enjoyed.
Please follow us on Twitter at TwoGaysPod. If Twitter still exists. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to still exist by this point.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for you?